Hi guys, I'm back in the shop. Today is finally the day I get to spray this frame. Going to hit some bed liner. The last dirty, nasty thing I have to do inside the shop. So I'm pretty excited. So I'll give you a look around, show you what I did to prep this thing and where we're at with it and what we're going to do. So here it is. If you've been following along, you know I already sandblasted this thing, primed it, and put it in a black base. I'm going to be going over it with some bed liner. The reason I did the black base, as I mentioned in a previous video, it just helps the bed liner cover a little better. You don't have to put it on as thick. If I would have just went over primer or a different color, you have to go thick enough to get good coverage that over time it's going to shrink up on you and it'll start kind of cracking out in the corners and stuff. It'll just shrink just like any other body shop material. So yeah, I just put it in that black base and I won't have to go as heavy on it. Another little tip is if you'd want something similar to this, if you have tabs of any sort, where your link bars or anything have to go back into, just tape the inside of them. This stuff doesn't go on super thick, but it goes on thick enough that if you get it inside the tabs, you're gonna be fighting getting your link bars back in there. So yeah, just mask those off. Mask off any threads, anything obvious like that. And that's about it. You should be good. So here's what I'll be using today. I'll do a little comparison of both of these for you. The Raptor, I've used it multiple times. I actually had this left over from a previous job. So I'll hit probably the frame with that, and then I'll hit the rear diff gas tank with this cannonball. I've never used it, so it'll be new to me also. It's from TP Tools, which is local to me. It's kind of like a Northern Tools or anything like that. They sell a lot of different stuff. And they told me this is basically a direct knockoff of the Raptor. They could just get it made a little cheaper. This kit, I'll open it up and show you. So it comes with 4 bottles of the liner itself, a bottle of the activator, a mix cup, and it'll also come with a gun. So it's everything you need right in the box. Normally it's right around $100, a little bit cheaper. I got it on sale as $90, so I figured for the price I'll give it a shot. The Raptor, when you buy a kit of it, it'll come pretty much just like this. It'll have 4 quarts of the liner, a quart of activator, and it comes with its own gun also. And if you shop around online, I think you can get it for right around $115, $120. So you can save a little bit with the TP brand. More than that is when you buy a Raptor kit, it's 4 quarts, comes out to an even gallon. The TP kit, it comes out, as you can see, it's a little bit bigger. I think you get right around 1.2 gallons. So you get a little bit more product and it's a little cheaper. So hopefully it works out. But like I said, I'll get it ready and show you how to do it. Okay, so here you go with the liner. The Raptor brand, they make it easy on you. Both of them are a 3-to-1 mix. 3 parts bed liner, 1 part activator. The Raptor, the bottles, I'll try to show you there. They actually have grooves in them, so you really don't even have to measure it out. The bed liner is up to the 3rd groove. Then you fill it up to the 4th groove with your activator. Shake it up, screw it on the gun. Both of them recommend about the same air pressure, anywhere from 30 to 35. I've played with the air pressure in the past, and You can either get a smoother or rougher finish depending on what pressure you spray at. I'm going to spray it right around 30. And like I said, they're both 3-to-1 mix. It's really hard to screw up. There ain't much to it. So yeah, I'll get that mixed up and start spraying. I would recommend, if you can do it outside, do it outside. This stuff is messy. It sprays out of that gun, goes everywhere a lot farther than you might think it would. And once it's on something, it is stuck on there. Really hard to get off. But it's cold outside, so I'll be doing it inside. I'll try to tarp stuff off the best I can as I'm spraying. And I would also just wear some gloves, because it'll get on your hands and knock them off for weeks. And as you can see, I like to take really good care of my hands. So I'll wear gloves. I don't care if you do. What do I care? But yeah, I'll get it mixed up and start spraying. Okay, so here we go. Got it mixed up. Like I said, it's 3-to-1. I set that pressure regulator to 35 PSI, and it's pretty hard to screw this up. Just stay 8 to 12 inches from the surface and pull the trigger. You go on as thick or as thin as you want, depending on what you're going after. I'm gonna go pretty thin on it. Like I said, I don't want it shrinking up and cracking on me, and I've had it do that in the past if you go too thick. So that's about it. So here we go. Okay, so I figured I'd give you guys a look at this before I get completely done. Whole front half is done. And like I said, I'm going really light on it. I'm really not doing it for the protection. I'm doing it more just for the textured look. It's kind of a, if you feel like being lazy, it's an easy way to make things look like you actually cared, which I like that. But if you plan on putting it on to actually protect your frame, just know it's going to take more than a quart. You're probably going to end up with 2 or 3 quarts on it to do an entire frame. But as light as I'm going, it'll be real close to getting it done in a single quart. With that black base that I did, you can see there where I stopped, it covers way easier than if you are going over top of a primer or a different color. So I always recommend putting a black base down. It'll save you a lot of product. You won't have to put it on as thick, and over time it won't shrink up and crack on you. So here it is. Got the frame all done. It was definitely a stretch to do it in 1 quart. If I wouldn't have painted it black first, there's no way you can do it in a quart. or if you want to go thicker than I did, just know you'll use a couple quarts, 2, 3. You could even put a gallon of this stuff on a frame if you wanted to. Like I said, I really wasn't doing it for any other reason than to make it look a little better. It's an easy way to hide a lot of imperfections. You don't have to do a whole lot of grinding or smoothing out. So if you feel like being lazy and making it look like you cared, I definitely recommend it. I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna give it a look over, make sure I didn't miss anything. Then we'll jump to that rear diff and the gas tank. Like I said, I will try out the TP brand for it. I've never used it. Kind of expecting it'll be just like this Raptor, being that it's a direct knockoff is what they told me. It's not going to use a full bottle of that for them few little parts. So I will just pour some in to the Raptor bottle, probably about half a quart. So waste any. But yeah, I will wrap this frame up, mix up some of this Cannonball, spray it, and tell you what I think. That's a rear diff and gas tank done in the Cannonball, sprayed at the same pressure. And the frame is done in Raptor. And honestly, I could not notice one bit of difference between the two. Over time, maybe one holds up better than the other. But as far as applying it, using it, I'd say they're pretty much identical. One little tip, not really a tip, but when you're spraying it, when you get towards the bottom of the bottle, this hose here, this tube, it screws into this gun way too far. Like, it probably screws in there almost an inch. So when you get to the bottom, running low on bed liner in the bottle, there'll be about an inch of bed liner that the tube won't reach. So spin this thing out as far as you can, and it'll be right at the bottom of the bottle, and you can get every little bit of bed liner out of it. As far as the bed liner itself, I used probably about a half a quart of the Cannonball on that rear diff and gas tank. And same with the frame, I didn't go real thick. I'm really just after the look. So as far as the final review, like I said, this I got for, it was on sale for 90 bucks. Usually it's under 100, even at full price. And the Raptor is about 20, 30 bucks more. They taste about the same, but the Raptor's less calories, so maybe if you're on a diet, it's worth the extra money. But overall, I would say save 20 bucks. You get 2/10 of a gallon more with the Raptor, and sprays exactly the same, looks the same. So I guess I really don't have a preference. They're both good. I've used the Raptor a ton in the past, but yeah, I think I'll give the Cannonball another shot for, like I said, a little less money and you get a little more product. So what I have left over, I will probably do all of the floor pans of the cab in it. But yeah, that's my review. Take it or leave it. All right, that's it for this time. I'll let this sit for a day or two. In the meantime, I have to sandblast and powder coat the forelink, and I'll finally be ready to start hanging parts and assembling this thing for good. Hopefully this helps somebody out. If not, don't know what to tell you. I don't get paid for this.